Hi everybody, this is a little painting I did. Like you know by now, I've done a lot of these little paintings and I keep doing them. I think they're really important for us artists to unleash the creativity, if you will, and just not question anything. Yeah, obviously, because when you're very tired, I've done a ton of other things. I teach at university and I do a lot of preparation for classes, and we just had our end of year show where you have to prepare a lot of things to be on stage all day long and show the artwork of students to industry people, etc. So that's quite demanding. To relax, I do whatever comes to my mind, and it's generally a little character adventure, something like that. If I had more time, I would plan bigger paintings and things like that, but also like to go forge into the unknown. For a long time, I was a concept artist working on films. And the role that I really liked was literally the first days of that. When you get the projects and people take you into a room and they tell you, okay, we're going to work on this project and this is the idea, and any idea you can come up with, any painting that comes through your mind, and just go for it, and we'll present that to the director. They like the idea of this, of that. The time period is about here, but we don't mind if you do a bit of that. Sometimes they would have even some images done by previous artists that they didn't like or something like that. I really like that. You go into the unknown, so you literally, you yourself faced with a white paper or the screen if you're working digitally. Just work digitally is the way now for films. But I've seen people do sketches with traditional medium and just literally start on a sketchbook. I was working on The Hobbit in New Zealand. There was Alan Lee and John Howe, two famous illustrators, and they both had this gigantic paper, like something like A2 size, and they would just have these pencil and start drawing on those, all their ideas. It's quite nice to see. At some point they moved them out of our office, so I didn't see them much do their work there. I had also other famous artists like Mike Mignola. He did the same thing. He just started with pencils and drew some goblins for The Hobbit first version. And it was really nice to see how different people work, with their own techniques. We worked directly with digital tools because it was faster, and you can flip the image, you can change everything, and you keep it on layers, and it can be quite impressive. Some people use 3D models and paint over, or photo bashing, or paint absolutely everything from scratch, and you learn by looking at other artists. I don't think there's one right way to do things. I think there's your way, which is the right way, and whatever works, if you will. There's no the single method that should be applied by everybody. What counts in concept art is literally your creativity, your ideas. The drawings or the images can be not perfect, but they have to be very inventive, something that we've never seen before, or something that's slightly off what we've seen before that is interesting enough that it's going to be made into the film or put into the game or whatever it is. What they don't want is for you to repeat what was done before. So you are a fan of this game or that film or whatever, and then you do that exact same sword that they had there, and you render it really well because you think this is what concept art is. It needs to be absolutely perfect. I need to kind of make it shine and present it. And then they see that in a meeting and they get absolutely not excited. Well, we don't want that. We want something else. We want something that we don't know what we want, but we don't want that. It's boring. And I've been in that situation. This is why I promise myself to never be there ever again. And I tell that to my students. Just you will never be told off for going too far. Taking your ideas and going too far. And this is what I like about forging into the unknown. Just drawing and see what comes. Like this lady I'm painting there, I had no idea. Just a vague idea of someone crouching with a sword on her back, and that was it. And just penciled it very quickly. You can see the pencil is not super clean. I could kind of refine it, drew a bit better, all the details, etc. But I had enough that I just wanted to make the painting happen, and I had this idea of painting everything in one harmonious tone of blue. Blue using black, white, and two types of blues. There's cobalt and cerulean blue, and I was thinking of doing other colors at the very end. Adding oranges on top, which are contrasting hues, if you will. So that saves times, and it kind of helps you with the the process of creation. You just go, okay, I'm just dealing with that one color, and everything makes sense. When you do that, you can do everything you want. You can obviously start with all sorts of colors. You can fill up spaces. I see a lot of traditional artists. They literally will paint the detail of the face of the thing after they sketch something really, really well. And they'll just paint that face really well. Then they'll paint the hair, and then they'll paint the hat, and then they'll paint the detail there and that and that, and they'll proceed like that in a kind of a methodical way. But that's not my way, because I don't like this technique personally, painting by number. I like kind of falling into the unknown and battling the elements and not knowing what's going to happen. And if this was a digital painting, I would have already have changed the hand several times. I would have moved it down, up. Actually, in the pencil drawings, I did that. I kind of put the hand down, or the hand in the front, or the other, the arm was going that way, this way, etc., etc. So with the digital, that's what it allows you to do. You kind of start somewhere, and then you change your mind completely. You erase everything. I think I've told that story before, but one day I was painting in front of my students, and a student came to me in the end and said, I can't believe it. You just painted everything about 5 times. Like, I erased just about everything and squashed, with big brushes, and then started all over again. But what happens when you do that is short memory gets full with these ideas. And in your mind, it is building up, you kind of see it happening. And as you are erasing, it's not like you're starting from scratch. It's something of the ghost of that image is still there for you. And you kind of fight it again, but not from scratch, from something you've been there before, if you will. Like you were, walking in a forest and you've lost your way, but suddenly you recognize a bunch of trees or something, and then you kind of make it better. Okay, I'm going to avoid this corner there because I know it leads to a precipice and there's water or whatever. It's the same idea. The idea of redoing things is really important. A lot of people are afraid of redoing, and they just want to get this perfect image that you see on ArtStation or whatever, and it's like this perfect painting. It has to be exactly like that. And in my opinion, you need to do a lot of really bad images and kind of redo them, and even the images that you've done, you can redo them literally several weeks later or a year later. Quite a cool exercise to go back to something and re-engineer it and repaint it. This is why there's a lot of repetition. The artistry is repetitive. So it's a bit like musicians. You think about it, the musicians, they don't do that solo in one go. They train, they do bits of the solo, and they play that guitar and again, and then they play every day, like 8 hours, and then again, and again, and again. Then at some point, they have enough knowledge, they have all the memories of what I called earlier, the ghosts of all that, that kind of comes up and helps you. And so when you're suddenly drawing, everything is there. When you're doing this music and you're improvising a solo, you've already done that somehow, somewhere. And even though it's brand new, it is built on something else that was done before. So this is why it's really important for me to do all these little sketches, one after another. Even if I'm tired, I kind of enjoy it. So it's very addictive. You just want to have a little image, a little painting, a little drawing every day, so that you feel better. I know some people don't feel that it's like a punishment. I really need to practice my life drawing. I really need to. That's the wrong way to see things. I really need to. No, you don't really need to. Do it because you want to. Because like it's like your whatever. If you're addicted to something, it's your drug of choice, if you will. It's like I need to paint. So I always carry my brushes, my ink, my everything everywhere I go. I have stuff on me all the time. If I find myself in a cafe or waiting at a doctor or the dentist or whatever, I can do a little sketch. I can paint, can draw. I have little watercolor sets and all sorts of things. And it's the same with I think learning an instrument. If you put your instrument into a box and only take it out when you practice, you're gonna very shortly stop doing that and forget to practice. Whereas if it's there, you leave it on the couch. As you go home, you sit on the couch, you're tired, and the guitar's there, or the ukulele is there for me, or and then my painting studio there where I am at home, everything's there. I have a nice table that I prepared myself. I have all the paints, tools, the ink, the water, When I finish a painting, I make sure to clean it up, to clean the water and everything, so that it's ready for when I just want to paint it. When you want to paint, you don't want to have to organize everything. You just want to go straight into drawing, because generally, for me, it's the thing I want to do no matter what. So if I have to then prepare a table, take out the acrylic from the box where they're in, and the paintbrush, and get some water. By the time you've done that, it's like 20 minutes. All your good energy is gone, and it's the wrong way to do it. This way I prepare everything. The brushes are there, the water's there, the paper is literally on the table, waiting with pencils, sharpened. I even sharpen the pencils beforehand. I don't even have to sharpen pencils. They're just there with the eraser and everything. I just finish some work, and I can put my chair sideways where I have this table and start painting and drawing. And some people ask me about inspiration. What you do, what you get inspiration, how can you iterate? And there's many ways you can do that. Like you can look at images, look at something like ArtStation or something on the internet. But you have to be careful. If you look at these images on ArtStation or whatever, DeviantArt, they can inspire you, but if you look at them for more than 15 minutes, it will destroy you, because you'll see people are so good, and they put their best work there, so it's going to be just impossible to beat, and you'll look at that and you'll think, oh my god, I can never be as good. And if you look at it for more than 20 minutes, say 15-20 minutes, it will demotivate you. So my suggestion is to look at it for like 5-10 minutes max. Oh yeah, I can do a painting like this or like that. You don't necessarily always need to do that. You can just start from scratch and see what happens. And often I've done that, you start with a vague idea, and then you pencil something, it doesn't work, you erase it, you pencil something else, it doesn't work, you erase it. And again, you're building this ghost there, this foundation, this thing. And so the paper is already not white in your head. It's already containing all sorts of possibilities, if you will. This lady that I draw often there is a comic I'm working on. So she's Lady Thunder. So I'm working on this comic, but the problem with the comic is it's a lot of work, and you need to be 110% doing it. So it's not easy. So this is why I do a lot of little sketches in preparation for the day where I have free time, if you will. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you enjoy this.